Good morning, class. I hope everyone is doing well today. So here's the plan for today. So first of all, we're going to do a little recap about what we've learned yesterday in our class together. Then we're going to talk about articles. So we're going to talk about N and A, how to use it. And then once we've talked about the theory, we're going to put it in practice. And we're going to do some exercise together, and you're going to do some by yourself to make sure that you understood the theory of today. So if we go back with what we've learned yesterday, can anyone tell me what we've learned, what we've talked about, what was the subject of the class yesterday? Anyone? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so you're right. Yesterday we've talked about the noun count and the count noun. Can you tell me the difference between the two? Explain a little bit what we've seen yesterday. Do you need help from a colleague? Yeah, okay, I'll ask someone else. Yeah, perfect, excellent, you're right. So noun count, it's words that you cannot count. So if we have an example, let's get milk. That's our example for noun count. So milk, we cannot count it. You're right, that's a liquid, you cannot physically count it. So you cannot put plural to it. You cannot say milks, you know? So we keep milk. And do you have any idea for a countdown? Yeah, good idea. And it's a perfect mix. So cookies, you're right. So cookies, just like I said cookies. So that means we've added the S at the end. That means we can count that word. We can put it singular and plural. So you can say cookie and you can say cookies. Excellent. I'm glad you remember what was our class about yesterday. Good job to everyone that provided an answer, and I'm sure every one of you remember now that we've talked about it, that you remember the theory that we've learned yesterday, so that's great. So I said that we're going to talk about articles today. So like I said, we're going to talk about N and A. Can anyone tell me why would you use N or A? In which context do you use the N? Which context do you use the A? Does anyone know the answer to that? It's a hard one and we're just learning, so that's fine if you don't know the answer to that. So, you know that we use N or A in front of a noun. So that goes in a sentence, for example, I have an idea. So just like I said, I have an idea. Idea. And for example, for A, does anyone have an idea of what to write for A maybe? Go ahead, Chloe. Yeah. Excellent, good idea. A cat. Now that you see the difference between the two words, the two examples, are you able to guess maybe what's the logic behind using N or A? I'll give you a little hint. If I underline I here and underline C. Yeah, go ahead. Excellent, you're right. So when you use an idea, it's because it's followed usually by a vowel. So an idea, and usually when you say it also out loud, you'll say the connection, just like I said, an idea. So you say the connection between the two letters here. And then a cat, here we have a consonant here. So that's the general rule to know how, like when you'll put N or A in front of a noun. But if I tell you university, I'll write it down for you. University. That's a tricky one. Does anyone has an idea maybe of what we put what we'll put in front of it? If I say it starts with U. Go ahead. So you would say A, and you would say N. So who thinks that it's A? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And who thinks it's N? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the first 8 people that raised their hand, they were right. You're gonna say university. That's an exception to the rule. You see here, it's a vowel, but we're not gonna use N this time. We're gonna use A, because the U here sounds almost like a Y. University. It's almost like if we would write it Y-O-U. It almost sounds like this. So that's one of the exceptions that we'll see today. We'll see other exceptions, and we'll see our list that's of words that we're gonna work with today. So I'll ask one student to pass out the sheets so we can practice together. There's 50 words that we're gonna have on our sheets. We have 5 columns of it, and we're gonna practice. We're gonna do the first row together so we can do it together, do the first 10 words together. Then for the 2 other columns, you're gonna do it 2 by 2 to practice again. Make sure you understand the rule, and we're gonna talk a little more about all the exceptions. And the 2 last rows, you're gonna do it by yourself to make sure you understood the theory of today. So that's the theory about the articles that we're learning today.